Syria as the fighting in and around Aleppo intensifies. The US Secretary of State John Kerry has spoken with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov by phone to express his concern over the situation in the city. It comes after the UN blamed all sides involved in Syria for the failed three-day humanitarian ceasefire that ended over the weekend. It said negotiations to secure safe passage for the sick and wounded became futile in a matter of seconds when new airstrikes hit the eastern part of the city on Sunday morning. Well, Ali Mustafa is in Gaziantep on the Turkish-Syrian border and joins us now. Ali, so good morning, first of all. And the attack on Aleppo, it seems the regime are pushing back, but there has been some fighting back by the rebels. What can you tell us about what's happening on the ground?
Indeed, Kamali, as I was mentioning earlier, which you guys couldn't hear, is that the rebels are resisting this all-out assault by the regime, which has been underway since Saturday evening. That's when a 72-hour ceasefire unilaterally imposed by the Russians lapsed. The Russians said that the ceasefire was put in place, was imposed to allow for humanitarian aid to come into eastern Aleppo and for the sick and injured to be taken out, but no humanitarian supplies entered eastern Aleppo and no injured were taken out because there were no guarantees in place from the rebels and the regimes to the UN that they would be safe, that the UN aid convoys would be safe, that the humanitarian mission for the medical supplies out of eastern Aleppo would be safe. So the fighting resumed and the regime has then launched an all-out assault on rebel-held positions of eastern Aleppo. There are casualties, but so far we haven't had a definitive number. We are hearing that people have been killed in eastern Aleppo. Simultaneously to this, the US and Russian Foreign Ministers Sergei Lavrov and the US Secretary of State John Kerry have spoken on finding a way out of this quagmire in eastern Aleppo, but nothing concrete from that either. Meanwhile, the regime has also been dropping leaflets on rebel-held positions of eastern Aleppo, telling rebels to abandon their posts and leave, or they will face more assaults in the next few days, Kamali.
And we're getting reports also, Ali, that there is intense fighting between the Free Syrian Army and the YPG around the town of Tal Rifat. What can you tell us about that?
That is the northern front. It's part of Operation Euphrates Shield, the Turkish-led operation where the Free Syrian Army, Syrian opposition groups, are fighting Daesh on one hand and the YPG on the other hand. Keep in mind, the YPG has been moving against Daesh for some time, and it captured a lot of Arab villages, including this village of Tel Rifat, where there seems to be a concentration of fighting. The plan for the FSA is to take Sheikh Isa, it's a small town on the eastern outskirts of Tel Rifat, then move into Tel Rifat. And Turkish artillery has been shelling these positions, YPG positions. There have been reports that over the past few days, more than 20 YPG fighters have been killed. Meanwhile, south of Tel Rifat, Operation Euphrates Shield is targeting Daesh. It has captured several villages from Daesh in the south. So it's quite an interesting situation developing here. And now it seems that the FSA is moving towards Al-Bab, that prized possession which has been in control of Daesh for some time now. And all evidence from the FSA and Turkish officials suggests that Al-Bab will be the next target after Tal Rifat has been captured. Kamali.
Okay, Ali, for now in Gaziantep, thank you.